Hi, my name is Tracy Rooks, and I'm the Chief Architect of T-Squared Software. We are the inventors of the Kracken tools. And today we will be showing you how to forward engineer a database and how to utilize the forward engineer model. Uh, Today we also will be going through the reverse engineering of the database in the tool window as well. So if you have an existing database and you want to bring it in the tool set to create your projects with, you certainly can. If you recall, we had a T2CAST modeling project last time, and we had a DSDB file, but this time we're going to create one from a database. So first thing we're going to do is go to View and go to Other Windows. From the Other Windows, we're going to come on down here to the Design DB reverse engineer first. Thought about going to the forward engineering, but there was only two tables, so we'll reverse engineer one, make some changes, and then forward engineer it so that you can see it into the database. So to reverse engineer the database here first, we will go into the whole system and put in our server name. So this is your SQL Server instance name along with the server name. So in this case, it's the name of my laptop, and server name is Rook's Laptop. It's kind of confusing. These little, if you wanted to, you could also go out here and go to user and password, and from there you could use a a separate, not Windows authentication kind of model, the separate SQL Server model. And we have clients that require that, and we have to go across VPNs to do it, and this works extremely well doing that as well. You'll notice that there's no models here, so we're going to actually tell it we want a new model. And then we're going to tell it to please go out and get all of our database objects we already have. So you'll notice one of those database objects is cast. And we're going to grab that database, and you'll see that there's different databases we can go through and select different ones. Select different tables. In this particular case, we want cast. You'll notice that these are all the tables in the cast set. Should make that a little bigger, maybe in a different version or a different little upgrade patch will do that. You can also use different schemas. In this particular case, we've selected all schemas because they're all DBOs. If you selected the guest schema, for instance, there's nothing there. And if you select the DBO, all the tables have been created with DBO schema. So it's the database schema manager. You can do different ones and associate different names. We went over associating different names last time, and certainly you can use this for different segments. So you can create whole database projects on different segments of your database. Now that we're through with that, we're going to generate the Design DB class. And it comes with this little file box that says, do you want to reload it? And of course the answer is yes, we do. It comes out kind of ugly, and one of the guys I work with all the time said, you got tired of moving these around, so I actually created a little layout table clause for him, and I laid out all the tables. So you can see that a lot of these things are there. We're going to make a couple of changes. One of the first things we want to change, obviously, is we want to go through here and make sure all of our objects are set. So these are our slow-moving dimensions. They're used by created bys, created dates, modified bys, modified dates, used a lot in data warehouse projects. And as you can see, these accelerator types aren't set, and we could certainly go through and manually set them all, but again, the people that I work with go, man, that's just really a pain. So they wanted to know if we could just go through here and reset all of them. So we have a thing called Create Standard Properties that you see here, and with that we can reset all of them so that they're there. The only reason they can reset these is because obviously the naming is the same. So the created by, the name of the column is the same as the accelerator type. If it was a different name, then you'd have to manually do it. Some of the other things we want to set here we didn't set already is our stored proc, so we want to go through here and set all of our stored procedures. You'll notice that I'm not creating any foreign keys and everything because they were already set. So you'll see that foreign keys and those kind of things were already set, and as such didn't have it. I'm kind of looking out here just to see all the little tables, and you can see there's quite a few, but one of them that's not there is a candidate type. So the one thing we're going to want to do here is create a little candidate type table and then re-forward engineer this into our project. So we can do that. You can always come out here to your toolbox, bring your toolbox in, add a new table in. In this particular case, we're going to call this table candidate type. We're going to make it a reference table. And of course we have to hook it to our database so we know what database it belongs to. So database table connector for that. Alright, now I'm going to need a few columns, so start by adding a primary key column. Again, we use our IDs. Most of our columns of primary keys are ints. They don't have to be. I mean, they can be whatever you want. But I find that, most DBAs and most developers like the identity and the name and the int. So that's all set for you. Notice that maybe null is set to false because it is a primary key. It can't be null. So we go to the candidate type name here. We'll say to include that. And we're going to want that to be searchable. We want that size to be a little larger. And we'll probably set this to varchar. Now, some of the things I want to go over here with you is this search capability. So we reverse engineered it, but we don't have any searches in here. And obviously, you normally want to search on, those kind of things. Your address one. So we can just set them all at one time. And you can go through many of these and set them even between more than one. So, like you could set, answer levels. Let's say comments, and we can reset that. So I mean, you can continue setting things. You can set them between the tables if you want. I don't want any video file stream stuff on my appointment. Why don't we have video file streams? Oh, because we actually can record some interviews with the candidates. And CAST actually stands for Candidate Aptitude and Skill Testing. So, kind of one of my partners, John, came up with that concept after we'd already named it, I think. Not optimistic concurrency, definitely is searchable. So again, if you go through here, you'll see all these. If you notice down here, you don't see any of those kind of tables. Whoops. Here. And we haven't connected this to the candidate table yet either, so we'll probably need to do that. Candidate type is the parent in this case, so we're going to go from the parent to the child. We'll bring this over here to the candidate and link her up. All right, now we have to add the foreign keys to the columns, and we have to add foreign keys first. So you can actually go out here to candidate and say add foreign keys. Ooh, don't have an add foreign keys, so hold on a minute. Let me select this and the database to get that. Okay, and create all foreign keys. Yeah. As you can see, it's added the candidate type now to it, and of course we need a candidate type ID in the candidate table. So now you get the candidate type ID and the status IDs, and we really should go through all the tables and do that. So we'll just click it and tell it to look at all. It'll ignore them if they're already there. Make sure they all get in there okay. I think by now we're just about done and just about able to save, and again from there we can then regenerate these projects. Notice I had a database project last time. I just dropped it so I could recreate a new one. We'll go out here to generate please, and it'll create all these objects. It's going to create quite a few objects for us, and this is going to